Welcome back to another episode. We saw in the previous video, we saw switch statements. So in this video, we are going to look at some of the changes that they improved on the switch statements. Remember, Oracle releases updates on Java every 6 months. So they improved the switch statement also. So in this video, we are going to look at some of the nice things that they made on the switch statements. So let's dive in. So before Okay, let me first write here an integer, which is number, like 5, 9. So in the previous video, we saw that you can write something like this. You can pass here an argument plus your case. In this case, just say one, just so we saw something like this. This is the older switch statement that we all use or we are all familiar with, but they later made some changes. So before Java 5, we used to deal only with integers. Yeah, before Java 5, but later they introduced something interesting whereby you can also deal with other data types, name it strings, name it other data types. So in this video, let me try using strings and see. I'll say string uh, day is equal to, let me say, Monday, then terminate. So you see that here in my switch statement, I can pass a day, then I can say, open brackets, I can say case. In our case, I can say string. Let me say, let me call this like Sunday. Sorry, Sunday. Then I close. So you can see that I can deal with strings in this case. Yes, I can deal. This is my Sunday schedule. So you can see that I can deal with strings. So I can first break, then I can break like this. So let me try to run this and we see. I can change this to Sunday also, so that I get this output in this case. After matching our argument here, if the switch statement just checks is this argument that you have passed matching our case, so it will execute if they match uh, quite well. So I'll come uh, compile this Java dot Java, then compile, then run. You see that we have successfully printed out our schedule as this is our output. So this is the normal way of writing switch statements. But in after Java 5, I think it was Java 8, they introduced the ability of using other data types like strings. Yeah. So I can give another example. So what if the example I'm going to give is let me use alarms. If you want like to set alarms basing on term condition like your days of the week. Let me say you have like Sunday, you want to give it a new alarm. So I can say day of the week. Let me say Sunday, terminate this. So let me say you want to give you want to schedule alarms basing on days. Yeah, so we shall use that example today to see the new changes that they made on the switch statements. Yeah, so I can say Sunday switch. So before we used to use the break keyword, but the break keyword was later adjusted. So we shall see that in the coming minutes. So here I'm use. So today I'm going to set let my alarm on Monday be me output. Let my alarm the alarm is, let me set it like at 6 a.m. So when the case is Monday, the alarm will be 6. That will break. So I can use another case. If it is Monday, and you know it is if it is like Wednesday and Thursday, So you can do something like this. You can write two cases in one line. Yeah, terminate this. So I can say system out if it is both Wednesday and Thursday. So this I can copy this, or I can reuse this. Not copying. Copying is a bad word. I can reuse this. So for both these 2 days, this can be like 7. Then, like on Saturday, the last case will be, let me say like Saturday, Saturday. Let me call it like, let me say this will be like 8. Yeah. So my default for other days, besides Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, my default will be like at 9. Yeah, let me set it like that. My default will be at 9. So this is how our days or our expression looks like. So let me compile this and we see. So we are having Sunday. So what will run in this case? The alarm is 9. So our default is the one running because it is we are not meeting our conditions up here. So this one will be the one running. So here, let me run like Wednesday. There is something I want to show you. It's something interesting I want to show you. Let me run like Wednesday. Compile, then run. You will see that in this case, we have printed 3 of our alarms. Being, I have made this intentional by leaving out the break keyword. So if you don't put the break keyword, it will run continuously, even the others. So have to, don't have to forget the break keyword. So let me run this. It has to break somewhere. So if you don't specify how the moment it has to break, it will compile all the rest. So let me compile this and run. Compile, then run. You see that it has successfully printed out 7, being that we are on Wednesday. So in Java, they introduced something interesting. What if you don't want to use the break keyword like the way you have seen? Forgetting the break keyword is very easy. So what if you don't want to use the break keyword? So you will do something like this. Instead of using these 2 colonies, you do something like this. You use something is this return arrow and remove the break. So if you do something like this, this automatically means you won't be able to, you don't need the break keyword. This will automatically run and it will break by itself. So you use this expression all along. You have to just replace this. Yeah. So in this case, I can just do like this. Then don't forget to remove the breaks because uh, in Java they replace those breaks with this arrow symbol. So instead of using the breaks, you can use the arrow symbols instead. So this will do the same. So let me compile and run. So this will do the same. You can see that we have successfully printed out 7 a.m. and it is not, we are not using any break keyword anywhere. So instead of using the break keyword, you can use the arrows to mean to mean breaking or to avoid using the break keyword. So uh, the other thing I can talk about is what if you want to use the switch statement as an expression. Yeah, what if you want to use the switch statement as an expression? By this I mean, what if you want to return something in the switch statement? Remember here we are not returning anything, but what if you want to return something in the switch statements? So you do something like this. So these are some of the changes that they introduced. This was Java 12 that they introduced this feature. So I will say result string result is equal to an empty string. So something like this. So in this case, what if I want to return something? So I will come here instead of doing something like this, I'll say return. I can remove this. I can say result is equal to alarm. Alarm is on. This was forgotten. This was 6. Yeah, Sunday was 6. So I can say result, this variable here, I want to give it, I want to assign a new value to this result based on our switch statement. So meaning I have to return something. So in this case, I'll do result. I'll call our variable outside result is equal to, I give it a new value. If the argument matches with the case, this will happen. The alarm is 6 for today. So something like this. So instead of using sorry instead of using instead of using the return keyword, because here you can use return keyword, you can just do like this. Yeah, so you terminate this. So I'll do this for all the rest. Copy this here down, making this 7. Reuse this down, making this 8. Then my default being 9. So you can do something like this. So outside here, outside our switch statement, I can come system.out.print result. So I can do something like this. I'm going to explain this in a minute. So here I'm trying to return the result, and I'm trying to assign new values to the result based on our argument that has been passed in what? In our switch statement. So if the argument changes to Monday, so we will check, is it Monday? So if it is Monday, we assign new values to our what? To our result variable that we set empty here up. So this will automatically work, meaning our switch statement is now returning something, or it is returning a value. So let me run this and you see. Run. You can see that the alarm is 7, meaning Wednesday, this one is the one being returned. But remember, I have printed out result, meaning we have successfully printed out, we have successfully assigned a new value to the result variable, something like that. So those are some of the new changes that they brought in. So there is another thing. So what if I don't want to repeat myself by writing result everywhere? Here I'm writing result. What if I want to just use result once without repeating myself? So in programming, the moment you see the moment you see repeating yourself, when you're repeating yourself, just know that there is something wrong, or there is something more good or more nice that you can use. So instead of doing something like that, what if I do something like result is equal to switch, something like this? So what will this do? I can remove this down. I can remove this down here. Then being that I'm returning result, here it's like I'm assigning a new value to the result, but it is going to check my return by using this. I'll be returning this. So each and every time that we return, we shall be saving our value to the result, something like this. Being that now this is an expression, we shall need to terminate or close our statement, something like this. So when you output, you will see that everything is working really well. I can change this to Monday, then compile this and run. You see that it's the same thing, but I have not repeated myself by writing result everywhere, something like that. Yeah, it is something interesting. So let me change this to like Wednesday, compile, run. You can see that we have successfully printed out our 9 a.m. because Wednesday this Wednesday here is not part of my cases or my expressions that I have used. So something like that is, yeah, it is interesting how these guys have managed to make programming or Java programming more nice and more nice. They introduce new changes. So each and every change that they introduce, uh, they are they are improving or they are solving some particular problems. So in the first, before Java 5, we used to be limited by using only integers, but now we can use other data types. So there is some another thing that I want to talk about is what if you don't want to use these arrows here, and you want to use our colonies. Remember our colonies that we first used in our switch statement, those ones. But if you want to use that uh, while returning something, so in this case you use another keyword called yield instead. So if you are using these colonies, you have to add another keyword called yield. Yeah, something like that. So before closing, I have to first test this, and I see that it is working really well. Uh, so I replace others with our arrows with our colon and the word yield. So this has to work automatically. Let me compile now. You see that it is working successful. If you want to use, if you don't want to use the other arrows, you can use these colonies that we used to use before. Even you add the word yield. Yield is something interesting. Instead of using break, break is more of a negative word. I find it more of a negative word. But yield is simply that you are trying to you are trying to yield something, or you are trying to return something. Yeah, it is more humble than break. Yeah. So let me change this like to Monday. Like this will work. Compile, then run. You will see that everything is working as we intended. 6 a.m. is the one being compiled. So that's how those are some of the changes that they introduced in the switch statement. For more questions, you can comment and you can tell me how you have liked. Are you okay with the first one that we use or these new changes? How are they so far? Thank you very much.